Hi, my name is Mary Ann Hewitt. I'm the Executive Director of the Maryland Council on Economic Education. I grew up in the state of Kentucky. I went to Michigan to teach school right out of college just because I thought I was adventuresome and it was close enough to my parents to get back home when I needed to, but far enough away I could feel pretty independent. I readily found out I was, in those days, it was called a home economics teacher. Today it's called a family and consumer science teacher. I saw that kids had a great interest in managing a family's budget. And I introduced the class, and pretty soon I was teaching 5 classes, and that kind of started my interest in the financial literacy field, or the financial education field. I went on and got a master's and moved here in the 70s and worked for the University of Maryland Cooperative Extension Service, again as a family resource management specialist. And then after I had children and wanted to spend more time with them, I worked part-time for the Maryland Council on Economic Education and have evolved into the leader of this organization. We train teachers, which gives us a multiplying effect to those teachers reach children. And our mission is to have the children in schools leave school with the knowledge of economic and financial education. We have a variety of ways that we do programs. One of which is that we are invited by one of the 24 school systems to develop a professional development day. And so we will go in and do that kind of program around their curriculum. We also do curriculum consulting for the 24 school systems. We also then do what we would call an all-state, anyone come to this topic, which could be credit, which could be learning more about the stock market so that your kids could play the stock market game. We also do credit-bearing courses, credit-bearing being not being university, but being recertification credits for teachers to get recertified for their state teaching degree, which you have to have 6 hours or 6 credits every 5 years. So we get approved by the State Department of Education to conduct classes, so we will meet those standards and conduct classes that way. We also do minimally but some outreach programs throughout the state when some population calls us and says, could you come and speak to our group about? That's not our full mission, but certainly we do some of that minimally. We have some signature programs. One is a poster contest. We had about 2,000 kids last year draw a picture, and that picture becomes a poster. And they have chosen one of topics that meet economic concepts and financial literacy concepts, such as taxes. So they would draw a picture explaining what taxes mean in the form of a picture. And that goes from kindergarten through high school. We have 2 personal finance challenges. One is for grades 6 to 8. One is for grades 9 to 12. A personal finance challenge is a team of 4 kids who answer questions in 3 rounds with a computer Scantron sheet. And the top 2 teams then go to the final round where there's a moderator who asks questions and they buzz in their answer. We 2 years ago had a national high school personal finance challenge winner team who won from 21 states. And then we have the stock market game. Stock market game we've participated in for 30 years. It's a national simulation. You get $100,000 of virtual money, and you have a period of time to invest that. Now, when I say a period of time, we have 4 windows of opportunities. One in the fall, which is 10 weeks, one in the spring, which is 10 weeks, a year-long one, which is September through May, and then we actually have 5 windows of opportunity, and then we have 2 toward the end of school years. One's after testing, and one is after, well, 2 of them are after testing. So it's a shorter period of time. And they compete against their grade level across the state of Maryland. We certainly have tested some students, so we have some pre and post tests to show some pretty significant gains in knowledge from the test. The first time that we took a group of students to the National Personal Finance Challenge, 3 of them had never been on an airplane. So it was pretty significant from kids from a low-income school to be able to go to another state, fly on an airplane, and compete in a national contest, of which they scored pretty well. They didn't make the top 3, but they were above the middle. So we were pretty proud of that. We've also had kids say, I am working this summer, I am going to get an E-Trade account and invest part of the money that I'm using the knowledge. There is a cash prize with the Personal Finance Challenge, and we've also had winners there say, I've invested that in. I opened an E-Trade account as a result of my class and learning about the stock market, and I'm going to see what happens with using the knowledge I have used. Well, they sometimes mentor. They speak to our classes sometimes. When we're doing a recertification class, they've often spoken to the class. They've spoken at our annual awards program that we hold annually for our awards winner, and they financially support us. They are the reasons we are able to provide these programs at low or no cost. Well, face-to-face, generally speaking, we have found that a hybrid method works best for our teachers. We've surveyed the teachers, so they see us face-to-face, but then they also do some of it on online.